of all virtues. My Nitai is the jewel of all virtues. He has inundated the three worlds with a flood of divine love, prema.
Nita has come to the land of Buddha, Bengal, bringing that flood of prema. The devotees are submerged in it, but the wretched and lowly remain floating.
He does not discriminate against the wretched, lowly, fallen, and sinful. He freely offers to everyone a frame that is so rare that it is difficult for even Lord Brahma to attain.
By cutting a channel in the dam holding the limit of the ocean of mercy, Nitai has caused a flood of nectarian praying to surge in each and every house.
Vaishnav says, whoever has not worshipped my Nitai knowingly commits suicide.
Vaishnav Thakur ki!
In the big yellow book is Inland Section and then the meeting.
344 in small 344.
Jaya
Goswami ki.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुचन्द्राय राधिकाय सदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनविरह कातुराजुवाः पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तर्वो विनेदुस्तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। नष्टपरायषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतं सेव्यया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्ति नष्टकी। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपीकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। देवी कृष्णमयी प्रोक्ता राधिका परदेवता सर्वलक्ष्मीमयी सर्वकान्ति समहोनि परः। भक्त्या विहीनाय अपराधलक्ष्ये क्षिप्तस्य कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयी तं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। ऑल टुगेदर हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम। वन मोर टाइम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। थैंक यू। My Bharat Prabhu, please come and say a few words, then I will take over. Yesterday Gopavrinda Prabhu spoke. Today is your turn. Mike. Oh, give one chair.
Gurve Gaurachandraya
Raya Tadade Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Offer my obeisances to my spiritual masters, to the Guru Parampara, to our exalted guest, and to Guru Parampara and all the assembled devotees. So the most wonderful topic that is being discussed this week is the glorious contribution of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the crest jewel of all the Vedas. There is no amount of time that one can overly spend reading and hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the stories, 27 different incarnations are discussed and elaborated upon. the Supreme Lord, first canto, its incarnations are talked about. In the second canto, they're also talked about. In numerous places, they're explained. The glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are inconceivable, and they are extremely purifying. Although one can be purified very easily by hearing the Lord's holy names and hearing about his transcendental contribution to the welfare of the entire universe, the Jiva in Kali Yuga especially is steeped in anartas and aparads. And because of these, the glories of the holy name within his heart do not sprout very easily. But even though one may be full of offenses, the holy name is still very powerful. It can purify even the most fallen of souls. And although this purification is very gradual, it is still real. I am always completely depressed when I hear the analogy of the wedding party, going to the wedding and getting in the boat and the Roman row all night long, very difficult, very, very hard, but in the morning they have gone nowhere. Sometimes that analogy is given about the sadhak and his chanting of the holy name. And although this analogy may be totally true, it is quite depressing. But for the living entity, especially now, he has no other resource. He has no other shelter than the holy name. Although there may be so many difficulties, he still must chant more and more the holy names. He must pray, he must cry, and he must wait for the mercy of the Lord and his authorized representatives. The holy name is very powerful, and Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says that I will preserve what they lack and protect what they have. Therefore, by this great offering of the Lord, a faithful sadhak continues his hearing and chanting, remembering and offering prayers. We have at least 8 incarnations of the Godhead Gita Guchika, and all of them have the potency to purify the fallen conditioned souls. Therefore, on this opportunity to hear Harikatha from a bona fide sadhu, we should give our full attention and pray for the mercy of all our Guru Varga.
You give us a hope. My Mahaprabhu gave us a hope. Chanting Harinam going to take us. It's a beautiful boat. Harinam and Naukar Thani.
Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So I don't like to take too much time. Really, all of us have come to hear Bhagavat Gita.
We have enough time, don't we?
Maharaj is staying like this in front of everyone. Yesterday he's telling me that 1.5 hours is nothing. 6 hours every day for 7 days, then it's possible to maybe complete Srimad Bhagavatam. So he's been having to summarize everything very, very short. So this is sacrifice for him to not speak so much, but a sacrifice to us. Oh, 1.5 hours is so long for us. So long to sit still. Maybe Maharaj's class should be shorter, 1.5 hours. I was hearing Maharaj say, maybe last time he was here, I can't remember when, but he was saying in order to actually receive the fruit of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, two things are necessary. First of all, what is the fruit of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? If you want to find the glories of Bhagavat, the best place to look is inside the Bhagavatam itself. Actually, in Vaishnava culture, this is very rare that you hear someone glorifying themselves. Sva prasamsa dhruvam mrityum. This is the same as death. When someone glorifies himself, when he hears his own glories, and even more than that, when his own glories come from his mouth, that is compared to death for a Vaishnava. But we see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is full of the glories of Srimad Bhagavat. The reason for this is that the Bhagavatam is non-different than Krishna himself, than God himself. Bhajamahe Bhagavata Swarupam. Maharaj was saying the first day he was here, it is actually incorrect to say the Bhagavatam is just like Krishna. In Hindi you say Bhagavat bhi Bhagavan hai. Bhagavat is also Bhagavan. Actually this is incorrect. Hindi they say Bhagavat hi Bhagavan hai. Bhagavatam is certainly Bhagavan. Bhagavatam and Bhagavan there is no difference. Tamadi devam karunanidhanam tamala varanam suhitavataram apara samsara samudra setum bhajamahe bhagavata swarupam. Actually there is a slight difference, and what is that? We also heard the other day. 5,000 years ago Krishna departed this realm. Krishna svadhamo bhagate jnana dharmadhi visaha. And it appeared that with him he took all goodness, jnana dharmadhi visaha. Everything that was auspicious when God returns, when God leaves that realm, common sense that all that is auspicious goes with him. So yes, God returned to his realm, but he left something here. What is that? Puranarako dhunodhita. The sunlight Bhagavata Puran that completely dispels all darkness. So Krishna may not be personally present in his form, Bhagavatam is still present, so Bhagavatam can be understood to be more merciful than Krishna. Or to speak of equal to Krishna.
It is just like Baldev Prabhu is no different. Krishna and Balaram no different. Only difference of complexion. एक ही स्वरूप दोनों भिन्न मात्र का है. They're same. But Baldev Prabhu is Ashray Vigraha. Even though he's not different from Krishna, but Baldev Prabhu served Krishna in so many forms. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. It's Krishna himself. But what form of Krishna? Like Baldev Prabhu, always serving Krishna. So Bhagavatam always glorifying Shri Krishna. That.
So in Bhagavatam you find the glories of Bhagavatam. Really, that's the only place you can find the real glories of Bhagavatam. So everyone here who wants to know, what is the benefit of coming 7 days in a row and hearing 1.5 hours? In order to find out what the benefit is, you have to come and listen. Because Bhagavatam is full of its own glories, and that is not a fault for Bhagavan. Maharaj is teaching the children Chatushloki Bhagavan each morning. The first verse Maharaj was telling, Ham eva sameva gre. And there Bhagavan is pointing to himself. Krishna is pointing his finger to his chest. And 3 times he is saying, I am great. Everything comes from me. Everything resides within me. After annihilation, I will remain. So for the Lord of the universe, the controller of everything, the Supreme Lord, for him to glorify himself, that is truth. That is not a fault. For anyone else to glorify themselves, that becomes a fault. So Bhagavatam, glorifying itself, this is how we understand the true glories. Prabhu je jane se deha janam. Only that person who has received the mercy of Bhagavatam can understand the glories of Bhagavatam. Everyone else, for Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada said, they are like a honeybee licking the jar of honey from the outside. They cannot understand Bhagavatam. Oh, Bhagavat Saptaha for 7 days in a row. So I remember Maharaj saying that in order to receive the fruit of Bhagavatam, Two things are necessary. That is also described in Srimad Bhagavatam. From the very first slok, this book is said, what is contained within Bhagavat. Maharaj said he actually had desire to speak about the first slok of Srimad Bhagavatam. But everyone wanted to hear pastimes instead, so he went in another direction. But I know for 7 days Maharaj could speak only on the first book, the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. What to speak about the first verse? Second, third, fourth, all are glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharma projita kaitavatra parama nirmatsaranam sadam. They are saying this Bhagavatam, nigama kalpatorora galitam phalam. This is the ripened fruit of the tree of all the Vedas, of all the Puranas. Every other book, every other scripture that is there, it is simply like the tree, and the only purpose for trees, the only reason we plant a mango tree is why? To get the mango fruit, right? No one plants a mango tree and cuts it down for firewood. We all want the fruit of the tree. So all the Shastra is there, why? Only to produce the essence. Sarva Vedanta Saram Hi Srimad Bhagavatam Ishyate. That is called Srimad Bhagavatam. One who tastes that Bhagavatam, what is the result? Sadhyo Hridya Avarudhyate Atra Shushishibhis Tat Kshanat. Kshanat means very, very quickly, in one instant. What will happen? The Lord will be present within the heart of the reader, in the heart of the hearer, and the heart of the speaker. So like Gopal Prabhu was saying yesterday, if we're not receiving this result, that means we're not actually properly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So after hearing the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, then we may be able to understand, oh, what is the proper process for hearing? That's why the first Bhagavat Saptaha you attend and you hear, this should be like introduction. Very rare that you will receive the fruit of Krishna Bhakti after hearing it first time. The story of Dundakari and Gokarna. So many people were in the assembly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, but only one person got liberation. Why? Because he was there in such a suffering state, and he was desperately hearing with all of his heart, suffering so much, with all of his love, all of his attention, completely opening his ears and his heart to the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was delivered instantaneously. So there's two prerequisites to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, to attain the fruit of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. We heard the first verse. Actually, the glories of Bhagavatam are throughout the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. It describes its own glories up to the last verse. So I wanted to tell this last verse very quickly, 2 minutes. One of the last verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, the way it closes, the way it ends, is that it glorifies itself. Very rarely you will find any other book saying, oh, this book is so great. Half the book is telling of its own glories. But this is okay for Srimad Bhagavatam. And the more we read, the more we understand, the more we accept, and the more benefit we can receive. Srimad Bhagavatam Purana Mamalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam Yasmina Paramahamsyam Eka Mamalam Param Jnanam Giyate Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Samhitam Naishkalma Mavishkritam Yachranvan Suvicharanaparo Bhakti Vimochyanara. First it's saying that Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to all Vaishnavas, to real Vaishnavas. Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. It is so dear, Vaishnavas can never be separate from Srimad Bhagavatam. In this world we all consider something very dear to us. What are those things? Those things that bring us the most happiness. For some people it's wealth, some people it's family, wife, kids. For Vaishnavas, what is that? That is Srimad Bhagavatam. We receive happiness from mundane things. Vaishnavas receive happiness from Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Gurudev said, wherever Vaishnavas go, they always carry Srimad Bhagavatam under their arm. Very dear to Vaishnavas. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, when he first came to Mathura, Gurudev used to tell that he used to give Srimad Bhagavatam class. No one used to come to his class. He used to be alone in the temple room. Appeared to be alone. Actually, he wasn't alone. Like Maharaj was saying yesterday, Narada Muni comes to hear a pure Vaishnava speaking Harikatha. We may not be able to see with our eyes. So Srila Prabhupada is closing his eyes and speaking to what appears to be the four walls of Keshavji Gaudiya Math, Srimad Bhagavatam class every day. And then at the end of his manifest pastimes also, on his departure bed, 1, 2, 3 days before he left his body, then also Srimad Bhagavatam class. He is dictating and his disciples are transcribing. This is the attachments that Vaishnavas have to Srimad Bhagavatam. So one who wants to have this attachment to Bhagavatam must read Srimad Bhagavatam. The last verse says, Tat Shrinvan Su Vicharanaparo Bhakti Vimochyanara. Very long purport, so I'm skipping to the end. Two things that are necessary to receive the fruit of hearing Bhagavat. Tat Shrinvan. Shrinvan means to hear. Shravanam. If one is not hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, then what to speak of getting the fruit of accepting Bhagavatam in the heart? You must open your ears. Gurudev said, I've traveled so far and I've come here. The only thing I'm requesting of you is for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, simply sit down and give me your ears. What's so difficult about that? We all think it's a big stress. All we have to do is sit and hear, and Maharaj guides our thoughts. Where do they need to go? Imagine for Maharaj, traveling all over the world, just coming from Australia, which is 20 hours ahead. 20 hours ahead of here. The jet lag he must experience. Maharaj has a difficult task. He has to speak Srimad Bhagavatam, thinking of what inspiration is coming in his heart. The only thing we have to do is sit down and hear Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the first step. Simply lend a sadhu your ears. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, there is only one asset that we possess that can give us access to the transcendental realm. And what is that? The holes of our ears. We must fill it with Harikatha, Bhagavat Katha. If we don't, then Srimad Bhagavatam says, Bile Baturukram Vikramanye. What are these holes of our ears? If we're not filling them with Harikatha, they are simply holes for snakes to enter. First of all, we must hear. Second of all, the second condition, Su Vicharana Paro. And also this is what Goprabhu was speaking yesterday. You must do Su Vichara. You must deeply contemplate that which we are hearing. Not to simply have it go into one ear and out the other ear. We must deeply take these things into our heart, thinking of them. If we can spend hours and hours a day in our work, in our school, watching YouTube and so many other things, why can't we spend hours in a day contemplating and deeply meditating on that Harikatha which we hear? That Harikatha must be our most valuable asset. If we move in that direction, to that extent we are doing like this, to that extent we receive the fruit of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Krishna himself manifesting within our heart, because he is non-different from Srimad Bhagavatam. So, don't have to take any more time except to thank Maharaj so much for coming. Really, these realizations that Vaishnavas have in their heart, you can see how spontaneous these glories of Srimad Bhagavatam are flowing forth from the mouths of Vaishnavas. It's not very easy. There are professional speakers in this world, but they do not speak Tattva Siddhanta. They do not speak in the guidance of our Gaudiya Rupa Nuga Guru Varga. This only comes from very close association with our Guru Jan, with our Guru's very intimate service. Maharaj has performed so much intimate service I've seen with my own eyes. And he's also, I saw, when he first came to the Sangha of Gurudev especially, he sat always in every Harikatha and opened his ears, opening his heart, sitting and hearing very submissively, very patiently, and also serving the lotus feet of so many Mahabhagavat Vaishnavas. So automatically what will happen if you serve Vaishnavas and hear Harikatha? It is like they are planting seeds in your heart. And the more you hear, that is becoming watered, and eventually that seed will grow into a tree and that will produce its own fruits. Those fruits are now coming from the mouth of so many wonderful disciples of our Gurudev. So we are very fortunate. We don't have to take all the sadhana that these Vaishnavas have done. They are giving it to us on a platter. They are taking that from the tree of their heart, of their sadhana, and they're saying, no need for you to go. I have that fruit here. Everything that I've learned, everything that I've imbibed from my Guru Jan, from my service, I'll narrate to you. I only want one thing, 1.5 hours of your time each night. So I'm praying that I can also take these things within my heart, and I'm humble request to all the listeners, all the attendees here, when there's an attentive audience, then the speaker becomes more inspired to speak. So my only purpose in telling these is try to inspire all the hearers. This is very essential and very valuable advice. This will change your life. Bhagavan will come into your heart if we hear. So everyone please, there's 5 days left. Please come each night. Anyone needs to know the location, they can come and ask me. You can invite your friends as well, and everyone can receive the benefit of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki jai. Panchatopatribhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo.
No clapping? Very nice. Bolo Bhagavat Mahapuran ki jai. Okay. At memory, thousands of rishis headed by Shaunak, they asked the questions to Sut Goswami. We were hearing this yesterday. And Sut Goswami, he prayed to his Guru Maharaj before he began speaking. That was to do. Sut Goswami is praying to Shukdev Goswami because Sut Goswami, he heard from Shukdev Goswami. And how he prayed Shukdev Goswami? Yam pravajantavanupet pet krityam dvaipano viraha katurajuvaha putreti tanmayataya tarvo vinedustam sarva bhut hidayam muni manutusmi. Glorifying his Guru Maharaj began before starting speaking. And also the glories of Shri Shukdev Goswami. When he began to speak, demigods, they brought pot of nectar from Swarga, from heaven. And they want to exchange, want to give this pot of nectar to Parikshit Maharaj in exchange of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Shri Shukdev Goswami. This pot of nectar, just because of to get this nectar, Bhagavan has to take 4 incarnations in this pastime churning of ocean, Samudra Manthan Leela. Shri Ajit Bhagavan, then Kashyap Bhagavan, Kurma Avatar, Dhanvantari and Mohani. Such elaborate pastime. It needs so much time to hear this. It has so much to do with churning of ourself, the churning of ocean, from the sadhaka perspective. How when the churning starts, means churning of previous samskaras over this new samskaras which you are trying to develop. And the very first thing comes out is the poison. All negativity comes up when a sadhak begins his bhajan. Klesh Agni Shubdha. So first all the kleshas comes up. Anyway, so much endeavor by demigods and demons just to get nectar. And demigods, they drank that nectar and they're keeping that nectar in their planet, Swargaloka. But when Shukdev Goswami just began to speak Srimad Bhagavatam, the demigods brought this pot of nectar and want to have exchange. And Shukdev Goswami chased them away, sarcastic on them. That's not the correct way. That's not ideal. I mean, everyone is allowed to hear Bhagavatam. Even Dhundakari, he heard Srimad Bhagavatam. Demigods are allowed. Everyone is allowed. But to have this mood of exchange, if I give you $10,000, you speak more better. If I give you $20,000, can you speak 30 minutes more? With this mode of exchange, Shukdev Goswami was not pleased. Not pleased with this. And this also proves which nectar is superior. The nectar which is in Swarga, where demigods drink nectar and they enjoy and want to become immortal, but they can't become immortal. They have to come here again, even after drinking that nectar. So which nectar is superior? Kathamritam. Tav kathamritam tapta jivanam. The only nectar which can make us immortal is the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. So even demigods are not happy with the nectar they have there. They want to listen Srimad Bhagavatam. So even Dhundakari, the ghost, human beings, demigods, and I said, even Krishna, means Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also want to relish Srimad Bhagavatam. Because Praman Amlam Yad Vaishnav Nam Priyam. It's such a wonderful, it's like mango. It's so sweet, you don't want to leave mango. Want to taste each and every pore of the mango. And it's sweet from every prospect. Who is the composer of Srimad Bhagavatam? There's a question, a request of Shonak Rishis to Sud Goswami. Please describe us in detail about Parikshit Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami, and the writer Shri Vyasadeva. So let us hear about Srila Vyasadeva. Krishna Dvaipan Vedavyas, the son of Parashar Muni, who was crossing Jamuna in Mathura, and who was the boatman? The boat lady? Satyavati, Matsya Gandha. Her name was Matsya Gandha. Yeah. Just in the middle of the Jamuna, this island where Parashar glanced over Matsya Gandha, and she Ved Vyas, Srila Krishna Dvaipan Ved Vyas got birth. Just with a glance. Yeah. Not like a union of male and female, but just by glance. And that's why his name is Krishna Dvaipan Ved Vyas. Who gave a great contribution, being a Shaktivesh avatar of Krishna to humanity. And contribution is what? He came on the bank of Saraswati, he did Achman, and is contemplating. With the due course of time, when every age pass, this decline in dharma, decline in intelligence of people, so therefore I have to do something for them, because all are not in the same modes of nature, and therefore I should now divide Veda into 4. So Rig Ved, Yajurved, Samved and Atharvaved. One Veda into 4. And because he divided Veda into 4, is Ved Vyas. But Vedas, they speak things indirectly, paroksh. Parokshavad Vedoham Balanam Anushashanam. The example given by Acharyas is, just like if a child is sick and mother wants to give a medicine which is very bitter, and child say, I don't want to eat this medicine, it's so bitter. Then she bribe the child, say, I give you chocolate if you drink this medicine. And because of that chocolate, the child drink that medicine, take that medicine. The purpose of the intent of mother is not to give chocolate and even not to give medicine, but to cure the child. Parokshavad Vedoham. Things said in Vedas indirectly. And Gurudev used to say this. Gurudev used to describe this. How Vedas describe. How Vedas says about the Lord. There's a beautiful boy, dark complexion, always wear peacock feather, carry flute in his hand, wear yellow garments, and wandering on the bank of a river. Who's that boy? Who's that boy? Narsingh? Varaha? Ram? It's Krishna, right? Who wears peacock feather? Any other avatars wear peacock feather? That's why Shri Bilmangal Thakur, while glorifying his Lord, the first verse of Krishna Karnamrit, Chintamani Jayati Somgiri Guru me Shiksha Guruscha Bhagwan Shikya Puchya Mole. My Shiksha Guru is Krishna who wears peacock feather. So if Lord Narayan comes and say, Bilmangal, I am so pleased to you of your sacrifice, and therefore I want to take you to Vaikuntha immediately, come. Bilmangal Thakur said, no, I don't want to go Vaikuntha. Why? Because my Lord is one who wears peacock feather. But Narayan said, there's no difference between me and Krishna. Bilmangal Thakur said, there's a difference. You can't wear peacock feather and he can't resist without wearing peacock feather. He can't stay without wearing peacock feather and you can't wear peacock feather. Shiksha Guruscha Bhagwan Shikya Puchya Mole. This is how Vedas describe indirectly. So it's so difficult for a common person to understand the purport of the Vedas. To simplify Vedas, Shri Krishna Dvaipan Vedvyas, he wrote Puranas, 18 Puranas, to facilitate those people who are in three modes of nature, ignorance, passion and goodness. To facilitate them, by reading Puranas, they get inspired and they can give up, with the elevation of consciousness, they can give up those modes of nature and can get some elevation from ignorance to passion to goodness. But Puranas also is so difficult to understand. There are so many stories in Puranas. If you do this, you will get that. Even if you do one parikrama, a pigeon got shot by a hunter and he did one parikrama of the Lord, he died in front of the Lord and he got Vaikuntha. Many stories like this. He wrote Upanishads. Upanishads. To reside near the purport of Vedas is called Upanishads. Upnish means to reside. Then he wrote Brahma Sutras. This was Gurudev's favorite topic. He used to describe this a lot. And to make it very simple for every class of, every section of society, then he wrote Mahabharata. Very simple. Glories of Krishna. But very restless. He's not at peace. Even though situated at the bank of Saraswati. What is the significance of taking bath in Saraswati? One gets knowledge. There are three prominent rivers. Actually, the rivers in India are all holy rivers. It's not ordinary rivers. Gange cha, Narmade cha, Godavari, Saraswati, Kalindi. But three prominent. Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati. Ganga Devi is Patit Pavani, savior of the fallen. Take bath in Ganga, get rid of your sins. But that's also important. If one goes to the bank of Ganga, take bath in Ganga, get rid of all sins get destroyed. But pious deeds never get destroyed. There's no statement. We never saw any statement saying, if you take bath in Ganga, your pious activities also get destroyed. Only your sins get destroyed, right? But pious activities are also a disturbance in bhakti. Pious deeds also. So if you go to Ganga, take bath in Ganga, your sins going to get destroyed, but not the pious deeds. Na dharma na dharman, shutiga nirikta kilkuru. One is not supposed to do adharma, means sins, and also one is not supposed to do any pious deed. Then what we supposed to do then? Braje Radha Krishna Prachur Paricharjam Hitanu. Just focus on serving Radha Krishna Braj. That's all you have to do. How? Shavanam Kirtanam Smaranam. By hearing, by speaking and remembering. That's all we have to do. So what to do? If you're going to on the bank of Ganga, taking bath in Ganga, the sins gone, pious deeds are still there. So where shall we go to destroy that? It also needs to get destroyed. Otherwise, both are like shackles. Then go to something more superior. And who's more superior? Gangara parashahaile pashyate pavana darshane pavitra karo eito maraguna. Then go to the Vaishnavas, the pure devotees, who are considered as tirth kurvanti tirthani. Those who even purify tirthas. Just by seeing them, sins going to go away. Kahara nikat gele papa dura jai. Going near to sadhus, the sins start getting turbulences. They start running away. But also by hearing from them, no inclination for dharma, arth, kam and moksha. Only desire is to do bhakti. So more superior. That's the glories of Ganga Devi. Purifying sinful activities. And Jamuna Devi, one who gives us entrance to serve Radha Krishna and Braj. Bhraturasya kasya pattane vipati harani prekshayati papa sindhu. Then Tarani, the third one. Neeramadhuri pashesha chitta vandani mam punantu sarvadara vindavandu nandani. One who gives us entrance. Vrinda Devi, Shri Tulsi Maharani, Shri Giriraj Govardhan and Jamuna Maharani. These are Ashya Vigraha. They can very easily give us what? The entrance into the service of Shri Radha Krishna. And the glories of Saraswati is, that's why most of the rishis, they used to reside near Saraswati. One gives knowledge. What knowledge? Transcendental knowledge. Shri Vyasadeva, on the bank of river Saraswati, writing all this, but even he's not peaceful there. Even up to that point, residing near Saraswati and having all knowledge, dividing Vedas, Puranas, Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, Mahabharata, not happy. Seeing his situation, Shri Ved Vyas, who is incarnation, Shaktavesh avatar, then other Shaktavesh avatar. But Vyasadeva is Shaktavesh avatar of infused with, like potency, more potency about knowledge. But Narad is again Shaktavesh avatar, but Shaktavesh avatar infused with bhakti. Which is more superior, knowledge or bhakti? Shri Narad is infused with the potency of bhakti, is Bhakta avatar, Bhakti avatar. Shri Narad on his Veena. Narad Muni vajaye Veena, Radhika Ramana Namare. When he goes to Vaikuntha, he chanted Lakshmi Narayan, Lakshmi Narayan, Lakshmi Narayan. When he goes to Saket Dham, then Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram. When he comes to Braj, then Narad Muni vajaye Veena, Radhika Ramana Name. Radha Raman, Radha Raman, Radha Raman. Always chanting. So Veena Bajavat, Hari Gun Gavat or Prem Prasavat. Playing on his Veena and glorifying, chanting, singing the names of Sri Radharaman and distributing Prem. That's how Naraji comes. Not quietly, not silent, but with three activities: playing on Veena, singing and distributing Prema, because Bhakta Avatar. Seeing Naraji, seeing Narad approach, Shri Vedvyas stood up in honor. Oh, my Gurudev has come. And worshipped him, praised him. And immediately Naraji saw, something is wrong. Vedvyas, are you okay? No, Gurudev, I'm not fine. Naraji said, you have body, you have mind. Are you not enjoying with your body and with your mind? He said, no. Why? What is the problem? With such a humble mood, tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashna sevya. With such a humble mood and submission, he asked, I'm your disciple, I don't understand why I am not at peace. You are my Gurudev, you are superior, you can see and you can tell me. Pariprashna sevya. Approaching with submission. If we approach the Lord saying that, Prabhu, I'm chanting 64 rounds every day. I'm following my principles nicely. I do fast. Everything is good. But then why I'm not realizing you? That's not the criteria. Humble submission means, Prabhu, I cannot chant. My life is full of sins. As Sri Sanatana Goswami, for whom Sri Mahaprabhu claimed that you are my property. This body is not your body, this is my property. Imagine the glories of Sanatana Goswami. But Sanatana Goswami Pad, what is saying? Na prem shavanadi bhakti api va yogo atha vaishnavo. Jnanam va shubh karma va kyo bhi ast jati va. Hinarti ka sadhike toi achhed mool sati. He gopijan vallav yathate ha ha madishumam. Sanatana Goswami Pad, who knows, who is perfect in all the shastras, perfection in all the languages. when he approached Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with such humble submission, he is saying, Ami ke, who am I? So become zero when we are praying to Lord, not hero. You have to become zero. And approaching him with the mood of hero, that I am preaching so much, I am speaking Bhagavatam, I am chanting this, I am doing that. That's not humble submission. So our acharyas are teaching this. Sanatana Goswami Pad, Ami ke, who am I? I don't know this. Na prem shavana bhakti. Prabhu, I have no prem. I am not even performing 9 limbs of bhakti nicely. I have no pious deeds in my life. But I have one hope. Hey Gopijan Vallabh. Oh, the beloved of the gopis, I have a great hope because I know you always take care of your fallen servants. I have this hope. This is a way to approach. As Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, we all know this story. When he was chanting, then Mahaprabhu and all his Guru Vargas approached. Came to him. And how Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur prayed to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu said, I didn't send you for chanting, for some purpose. And what would Srila Prabhupada would have said? Yes, Mahaprabhu, you give me blessing and you see, I'm going to preach everywhere. That's not. When you are approaching your superiors, always become zero, blank. If we are blank, they can fill that blank. like slate, you can write anything. So what Srila Prabhupada said, how can I preach? I have no man, I have no money. Humble submission. Shri Rupa Goswami Pad, who is Priya Sarupe, Daita Sarupe, who is who established the Manobhishta of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is saying in the song? Bhakti rudanchati yadyapi Madhav, na toi mam til matri. Oh Madhav, I don't even have a bhakti, even of a sesame seed. Bhakti. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita, who wrote Govind Lilamrit, but while giving his identity, while speaking about himself, how is approaching? Puri se kit hai se mui se lagisht. I'm more lowly than a worm in a stool. Jagai madai hai ste mui se papisht. I'm more fallen than Jagai and Madai. This is how. So the humility, the humbleness, is the ornament of the Vaishnavas. So here Srila Ved Vyas, who also knows all the Vedas, if he is approaching to Naraji, this Vaishnav Sadachar. This is how we are supposed to approach to our Gurujans. Blank. Gurudev, I don't know. What is the cause of my restlessness and unpeacefulness? You are my Gurudev, you can tell me. Then Naraji smiled. He said, yes. Naraji chastised Vyasadeva. Just on the point of composition, writing so much. A disciple is doing so much and Gurudev chastising a disciple. Naraji chastised him. How he chastised him? Jugupsitam dharma krita anushashata. Anushashata means chastise. What have you done? Already people in masses, in general, they have inclination to enjoy. And on the name of dharma, you promote dharma, arth and kam and moksha. You encourage them to enjoy. Srila Vyasadeva, Gurudev, I'm so sorry. But I wanted to bring them to bhakti, but because they have no interest in bhakti, so I thought maybe I'll give some encouragement. Some kind of encouragement. If you do this, you'll feel happy and then you can come to bhakti. So those words in Puranas and all is just for to encourage them. Naraji said, I'm not happy with this. And that's why Bhavatanuditam prayam yashu bhagavatam lem yenne vashine tushne mamta darshanam khilam. Because you have not described the Bhagavad Dharma as it's supposed to be described. In other words, you have not described the glories of Shri Krishna who is supreme. That is the reason you are not happy. No, Gurudev. I did this. I wrote Mahabharata. And in Puranas also. Vishnu Thakur giving commentary. Srila Vyasadeva gave one evidence from Vidura. Vidura said to Vyasadeva, I'm very happy that you speaking the glories of Shri Krishna. And he referred one verse. Shri Naraji said, yes, I believe. You wrote the glories of Krishna in Puranas, but very minutely, 1 or 2 or 3 places. There's no repetition of the glories. The repetition of glories is the most important part. Not just you write a book and just 2 places you can write in a very simple way, in a hidden way, that bhakti to Krishna is supreme. What you highlighted the most is Dharma, Arth, Kam and Moksha. Who's going to understand the hidden meaning? Shashan, chastisement. Which is not polite from material prospect, but which is honor and praise in spiritual world. When Guru chastised disciple, it's an honor. And many got honored by Srila Gurudev. Many devotees, they got honored. Gurudev used to chastise. That is his beauty. Shri Narottam Thakur is praying and requesting this. Henoki haibe. Henoki haibe more narma sakikane anugat narottam korive shashane. Oh, when the Narma Sakhigan, means Priya Narma Sakhigans, when Lalita, Vishakha, Rup Manjari, Rati Manjari, when they're going to chastise me and correct me in my services to Divine Couple, I'm praying for this. Praying for getting corrected, praying for getting chastised. Shri Narottam Thakur is showing this. Shri Advaitacharya Prabhu was not happy, Mahaprabhu always praising him. Why Mahaprabhu praising Advaitacharya Prabhu? Because Maryada. Advaitacharya Prabhu is godbrother of his Guru Maharaj, Shri Ishwar Puripal. He can't chastise Advaitacharya Prabhu. But Advaitacharya Prabhu wanted to get chastised and corrected. And he started speaking Mayavad. He knows the only way to annoy Mahaprabhu is to speak against Bhakti philosophy, Mayavad. Mahaprabhu became very upset. What Advaita is preaching? And he came and started punching him. Taking his beard and punching him. And Advaitacharya Prabhu is relishing this chastisement. So the word of praise is inferior. And the word of chastisement is superior in that spiritual realm. Where everyone pray for that. But here, I don't like if you chastise me. I will say you're very rude. Even if I or someone shout at me, that person going to become my enemy forever. In front of everyone, you chastise me. You shouted at me, or you corrected me. But Gurudev, he used to even beat and slap his godbrother in front of audience. Shravan Prabhu knows. Great singer in Mathura, Gurudev's godbrother. In front of everyone. Huh, Balram Prabhu? Gurudev beat him because of something. Then Uma Didi and everyone said, it's for sure now he's going to leave Math. So much insult in front of everyone. But everyone saw next day in the Mangalarti, he was the first one was singing Mangalarti. And Uma Didi asked him, Prabhu, you didn't feel bad? Maharaj gave you slap and in front of everyone, you didn't feel insulted? We thought you were leaving. You're going to leave the Math. Shri Prabhu said, no. He's my godbrother, he's like my father. He has given us so much love. He nourished us, all the godbrothers, with so much love and affection. And with so much Siddhanta, so much Harikatha. So he also possesses rights to chastise me. But Uma Didi said, in front of everyone? He said, doesn't matter. Because I got a lesson now. And it's a matter of honor. I got chastised by him. This was his words. Best Kirtaniya in Mathura temple. Who was that? Shai Prabhu. Yeah. So, this is honor. Shri Vedvyas is correcting him. This is the point. You not repeatedly describe the glories of Krishna That's why you're sad. You're not happy. When a disciple gets chastised, he comes forth with some answers. And Shri Naraji is cutting all his answers. That's not proper. You promoted dharma, arth, kam and moksha. But Gurudev, in Vedanta Sutra, I said, anavriti shabdat, anarvriti shabdat. Repeat, repeat, repeat. You said to repeat, but you didn't wrote anything to repeat the glories of Krishna. But in Mahabharata, I spoke the glories of Krishna. Then Narad says, I'm not speaking about Krishna from Mahabharata. I'm speaking about Krishna of Braj. Vrindavan Bihari, Rasa Bihari, Vinod Bihari, Raman Bihari Krishna. Where Krishna, this is how Shri Gurudev used to, just repeating his words, how he used to present this. Have you written anywhere that Yashoda Maya, she bind Krishna? Mata Mor Putra Bhave Kore Bandhan, Ati Heen Gyane Kore Lalan Palan. Mother Yashoda, thinking Krishna so inferior, never believe Krishna is supreme, and bind Krishna with a rope. Even pull ears of Krishna, chastise Krishna. It never happened in any incarnation. It's only in Krishna Leela and in Vrindavan Leela, the Braj Bhav, where Shuddh Vatsalya Bhav in pure, without any mixture of opulence. No, I have not written this. Did you ever wrote anywhere about Shuddh Sakhya Ras, where the Sakhas are saying, Tumi kaun bada log, tumi ami sang? Sakha Shuddh Sakhya Bhave kare Skandarohan? With that pure Sakha Bhav, friendship mood, Sakhas are jumping on the shoulder of Krishna, and Krishna is jumping on the shoulder of Sakhas. And Sakhas saying, Tumi kaun bada log? You're not superior than us. We are equal. No, Gurudev, I have not written this. And Priya yadi man kore kore bharsan, Ved stuti haite hare mor man. Have you written anywhere that when Radharani she manifests sulky mood, Krishna apply all means to pacify her sulky mood? Priya yadi man kore. The man of Shri Radharani is the beauty of all the pastimes. If there is no man, there will be not so much beauty of the pastimes of Krishna in Braj. The man is such an important ingredient. And that's why Shri Rupa Goswami in Ujjwal Nirmani, he described 4 kinds of union, meetings. Sankshipt, Sankirn, Sampan and Smriddhavan Sanyog. Sankshipt. Sampan means, not elaborating on this, but Sampan means when Radha Krishna meets after the man. Radharani, she is in man. Why she do man? Sometime with cause, sometime without cause. Ahirevas gati swabhav kutila bhavet hetu yunam man uchyate. Sometime with cause, sometime without cause. So the union which happens after man, sampan sanyog. The meeting which happens, all meetings are not same. The union which happens after pravas. Pravas means Krishna is in the forest and Radharani is waiting for Krishna. Krishna comes back and then Radharani at Radhakund, she meets Krishna. Pravas. But then there is another meeting called Dur Pravas. When Krishna is in Dwarika. And after hundreds of years, not hundreds, but after many years, Krishna came to Kurukshetra and met Radharani there. Dur Pravas. Samriddhavan Sanjog. So much details by our acharyas. Can you imagine? We can't even imagine that. Even the meetings are not same. It's categorized in different parts. 3 kind of separations, 3 kind of meetings. Another chapter. Bhavi viraha, bhuta viraha, bhavan viraha. Anticipating separation. Akrura came to Nandgaon and asking Nand Maharaj, I'm going to take Krishna because Kamsa wants Krishna in Mathura. He wants to welcome Krishna and Balram. Gopis heard this. Krishna is still there, but already separation developed. Only by hearing Krishna is going to leave us soon, separation is there. Bhavi viraha. Anticipating. Then there's other intensity when Krishna already left and is in Mathura. And gopis are feeling sad, in separation, crying and weeping. Manaro lagena sakhi mora shama bina. This bhajan. But the highest intensity of separation is when actually Krishna Balram on the chariot with Akrura, when they are leaving Braj, and gopis are right in front of the chariot. They are seeing how the Lord of their life, Krishna, their beloved, is living. Prannath is living in front of them. This is how Sri Rupa Goswami described. And then 3 kind of meetings. Srila Gaur Govind Goswami Maharaj described this. So many details. So, Naraji is saying this to Vedavyas. Have you written somewhere like this? No. Smaragal khandanam mama shirasi mandanam dehi pad pallavudaram. The separation mood is like a poison which has arose on my head. Krishna is saying, I need some soothing balm. And what is that? Your lotus feet. Oh Radhe, your lotus feet is nectar, is full of nectar. So place your lotus feet on my head. Smaragala khandanam, mama shirisi mandanam, dehi pad pallavudaram. Place your lotus feet on my head. These details and the glories of Krishna, not repeatedly explained. This is the cause of your despondent. This is the cause. Then Naraji further described. Na yadvas chit padam hare yasho jagat pavitram parigharsh kaharshid tad vayasu tirth murshanti manasa na yatra hamsta nirmuktesha. Any poetry, any composition, nicely made, ornamental language, nice cover, good paper, but there is no glories of the Lord, not glories of Krishna is mentioned anywhere. It is just like a pilgrimage for a crow. And swan like devotees, they don't want to go there. Pilgrimage of the crow, where crows sit? Garbage. That's the pilgrimage of the crow. That's only just a garbage. Oh no, it's an expensive book, hard covered, nice, beautiful, ornamental language, nice paper. Garbage. It's just for crows. There's the nature of crow, right? Crow always sit. If you put halwa, crow never comes and eat halwa. On a branch of a mango tree, when the fruit, mango is ripened, fully ripened, and crow sit right above the mango tree, the fruit mango. Crow is not going to eat that mango. His tendency, his propensity, his nature is only looking for garbage. If a vulture, if an eagle sitting right on the top of the branch where the mango is hanging, eagle is always looking for dead bodies. can't taste mango. If a pigeon is sitting on the top of a mango, no interest in mango, only looking for she pigeon to enjoy. But if shuka, if a parrot sits, immediately eat that mango. Shuk mukhat amrit dravya samitam pibad bhagvat rasmalayam. Parrot eats that mango. And make mango more sweet. And with a touch of his beak also gets sweet. There's the glories. So Naraji said, listen, Vyasadeva, Najadvas chitpadam hare yasho. If the glories of Krishna is not be narrated, and the composition is very nice, it is just a place of pilgrimage for the crow. But on the other side, Tarvag sargo janto vipla yasmi pratishlokam badtomapi yashon kintani yashanvanti gayanti grananti sadhava. Any book, any poetry, any composition, not nice paper, not ornamental language, not singing melodiously, but the glories of Supreme Krishna is being narrated. Every chapter, every page is what? For the sadhus, for sadhu-like devotees who are actually sadhus, Shravanti, Gayanti, Grananti, Sadhava. If they get any person who can speak the glories, they want to become a listener. They want to sit and want to hear. And if they get any audience, they want to speak. And if there is no opportunity of speaking and hearing, then they want to read and relish. Shanvanti, Gayanti, Grananti, Sadhava. That's the nature of sadhu. Who always wants to hear the glories of Lord, always want to speak the glories of Lord, and always meditating on, remembering or reading about the glories of Lord. So, forget about Varnashram Dharma. You only doing so much to preserve Varnashram Dharma, but Varnashram Dharma has no means if it is not aligned with the glories of Krishna. Taktva sadharanam charanam bhajam hare bhajano pakka yadi yatra kavva bhadra bhudra nishkim ko apt vapt dharmata sadharmata. Naraji is saying. The meaning is, anyone who is following the duties of one's varna and ashram. Varna and ashram means, varna means Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. And ashram means Brahmachari, Grast, Vanpras and Sannyasi. Following one's duties, prescribed duties, but no interest in bhakti. And on the other side, those who have rejected the duties of varna and ashram and gave priority to only bhakti, if they die before getting perfection, or if they fall before getting perfection, what is the harm? And Narad said, no harm. Naraji said, no harm. Oh, not giving attention to Varna and Ashram, no problem. But the whole soul attention is for the bhakti of Krishna. For following Bhagavat Dharma over Varnashram Dharma. On one scale, Varnashram Dharma, other is Bhagavat Dharma. Bhagavat Dharma is high. It's more weightage. But yatra kavva, whoever is following and focus only in following the duties, prescribed duties of Varna and ashram, and not giving any importance to Bhagavat Dharma, nothing is attained. Useless. To support this, Shri Rupa Goswami Pad in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, He gave many references from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Krishna himself says, Sarva dharman paritajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Sarva dharman, give up what? Dharma. Which dharma? Varnashram dharma. And follow what? Bhagavad dharma. Bhagavatam 11 Canto. Agyevam gunan doshan may drishan api sakan dharma santajya savam bhajate saja sattam. After pondering on Agyevam gunana doshan, what I have prescribed, Krishna is saying, what I have said, after deliberating on pro and cons, or understanding nicely, giving up Varnashram dharma and only giving importance to Bhagavad dharma, that devotee is called Uttam. This is described by Navyogendras. It's Uttam. Another verse, Dev Rishi Bhutatma Nirnam Pitranam Na Kinkarom Na Rini Charajan Sar Atma Va Sharanam Sharanyam Gata Mukundam Parhitya Kritam. Means, whenever anyone in this world we take birth, we are always obliged for Dev Rishi Bhutatmam, Devatas, demigods, sadhus, forefathers, and living entities and the king. 5 obligations, 5 debts. How to repay them? It's so difficult. Debts towards forefathers. Because of them we got body. Debts for the demigods. Getting sunlight, water, air, everything. We have to pay them. We take any facility from the government, we pay them. Electric bill, water bill, phone bill, house bill, any facility from the government. And how to repay the demigods? Free oxygen. Wow. If you go to hospital, 1 hour oxygen, you see how much we have to pay there. Suppose you don't have insurance and you're feeling some problem. Go to emergency. I want 1 hour oxygen. Please, immediately give me oxygen. Okay, 1 hour oxygen. You can't just say, okay, thank you, bye. You can't just say in this island, Hawaii, mahalo. Just say mahalo like this. You say, not mahalo, sit here, you have to pay. Aloha. Payment for what? Oxygen? No, from very birth I am getting oxygen from the atmosphere, environment. And I never paid anyone. No sir, this is hospital, this is different. So how much I have to pay? 5,000 for 1 hour oxygen. Free of cost. Huh? We are just breathing. Do we have so much money to pay to the demigods? 5,000 oxygen for 1 hour. And imagine how many hours we have intake oxygen. Can't pay. So obligation is there. Demigods, forefathers, king, maintaining law and order. Then sadhus. This is again a detailed topic. But how to pay, how to repay everyone? Sarvatma sharanam sharanyam gata mukundam parhitya kritam. Only follow Bhagavad dharma, worship Mukunda, and give up what? Varnashram dharma. You can't go parallel. You have to give up Varnashram dharma to follow Bhagavad dharma. These are 4 or 5 verses in Bhakti Samya Sindhu to support this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam spoken by Naraji to Vedvyas. Tattva sadharanam charanam bhajan. One who has given up the duties of Varnashram dharma to follow Bhagavad dharma, What is the loss? Even if you die before perfection, no loss. Even if you fall, no loss. Because Krishna claims this in Bhagavad Gita. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta paranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare, my devotee never perish. My bhakti never perish. So Vyasadeva, Shri Naraji is giving all these instructions. So seems like this is a theoretical part. What is the practical prospect of this? Then Shri Naraji said, I'm going to tell you the story, my story from my previous life. The practical aspect of this. How I became a devotee. And that's why sometimes, as Shravan Prabhu just said, and I heard from Srila Gurudev also saying in a private darshan in his room, it is so difficult for a guru to describe Guru Tattva. It's not that easy. It's easy for us, I'm so and so, this is my contribution. But Guru means one who is heavy, not heavy in weight, but heavy in realization, heavy in Siddhanta, very subtle and also very heavy. Viruddharmasha. Guru is one who is very subtle, not on a gross plane, in a very subtle plane, but very heavy in realization. Gurudev said it is so difficult to speak about one's life story, how I came in bhakti, how I served my Gurudev, how I received so much from him, because people may think I'm glorifying myself. But we have to say this, to encourage so many sadhakas, because then they get encouragement to follow the same procedure, the same path. But Gurudev said I feel so embarrassed and reluctant to say this. But we have to say this. Like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, during his presence, some of his glories and pastimes got published in a book, Saraswati Jayashri, in Bengali. Prabhupada sanctioned that. Why? We can't even imagine that we is on his level. They transgress this Maryada also for welfare of sadhakas. It is very difficult task, it's not that easy. How can one praise oneself? But sometimes it is required for a higher purpose, not for some lower purpose. For money and adoration, it comes to a lower purpose. Then the person is Guru, that becomes Lagu, means he becomes light. Guru means heavy, otherwise it becomes light. So Shri Naraji is giving this, his own life, a story from previous life to his disciple Vedavyas. I was the son of maid, servant. My mother, she used to collect some alms and was taking care of me. And once upon a time, in this Chaturmasya which is going on, some very high-class devotees, they came in our village. High-class devotees. And when devotees comes, what happens? Festivals. Devotees means festival. Festival start. Festival of Hari Katha started. My mother thought, if I engage my son in the service of in these devotees, these Vaishnavas, at least there will be no scarcity of food. Because she was having motherly affection, she was finding so difficult even to nourish and even to supply necessities for the child. So at least he will be not having any scarcity and he will develop some auspiciousness. So my mother engaged me in the service of those high-class Vedantas, devotees. And Shri Naraji said, I used to serve them. And once upon a time, while they were over eating their prasad, with their due permission, I asked for their remnants. Uchishta lepan anmodita duja. Anmodita duja. Anmodita means with your kind permission. If you give me a permission, if you grant me a permission, can I take your remnant? This shows Naraji has so much honor, not just to fill his belly, but actually a desire to honor the remnant of a Vishnu. Even though the remnants gives tremendous benefits for the sadhakas, for the practitioners. And that's why it said, Bhakta Pada Dhuli, Bhakta Pada Jal, Bhakta Bhukt Avashesh. That dust from the lotus feet of a devotee, the water which washed the feet of devotee, and the remnants of devotee. If we get 3 or we get 1 of that accelerate our bhakti. So Naraji said, I was very fortunate. With their permission, I asked for this, and they grant me permission. But if someone knowingly honoring the remnant, that it gives a very high credits, benefits. Knowingly. Unknowingly also. Just like I was hearing the glories of Srila Gurudev in his centennial year. One devotee was describing that Gurudev was walking on beach and it's so difficult to get his Charnamrit. He never used to give openly. But he was walking at the beach and the wave came and washed his feet, and there was a dog who just drank the water. Of course he get the Sukritis. Yeah, of course, so much credits. But if knowingly washing his divine lotus feet and drinking that gives tremendous benefits. Yeah, just like Kalidas. He got the Charanamrit of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu right in front of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu never used to give Charanamrit, following the Maryada. The Prem Purushottam Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but also following complete Maryada. And Maryada Lungan Mui Saitena Pari. I can't transgress the Maryada, Mahaprabhu's principle. So Kalidas and Jharu Thakur, 2 associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jharu Thakur was not from a Brahmin caste, but Kalidas high class Brahmin. Understand? Jharu Thakur not Brahmin, but Kalidas high class Brahmin. He invited Jharu Thakur his home for prasadam. Hey boys, listen my Harikatha. I'm going to ask this tomorrow. Kalidas invited Jharu Thakur with this idea of, I'm going to serve him prasadam and going to get his remnants. And by honoring the remnants of associate of Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu will be very pleased. And my bhakti will grow. So Jharu Thakur got invitation, and Kalidas putting so much on his plate to get his remnant. But Jharu Thakur never leaving anything, feeling reluctant because he is not Brahmin, from low class and low caste, and then he took everything and threw his leaf plate in the forest behind the bushes. Kalidas thinking, oh, I lost this opportunity. What I have to do? Invite him again. Again he invited. Please come. And Jharu Thakur cannot say no. So much prasadam was kept on his plate. And this time, Kalidas, while Jharu Thakur was honoring prasad, he went behind the bushes and waiting for Kalidas to throw his plate. Jharu Thakur to throw his plate, leaf plate. And after eating, he threw that plate, and Kalidas, he honored the remnant of a Vaishnava. And with that, what benefit he got? Of course, the blessings of Vishnu, and also establishing that there is no consideration of caste, creed, color in the bhakti, in the bhajan of Mahaprabhu. Jai bhajo se bado abhakt hinchar, Krishna bhakti te nahi jati kuladi vichar. There is no consideration of any caste. And because of this, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who never allowed anyone to drink his Charnamrit, he forbade one his devotee while cleaning Gundicha temple. Gundicha temple cleaning, devotees bringing pot of water and cleaning Gundicha temple. And one devotee, he thought this is a good opportunity. He threw water at the lotus feet of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and want to drink this water. Charnamrit. Mahaprabhu said, no, this is wrong. And he told Sarup Damodar Goswami, take your Gaudiya. It's your Gaudiya. And Sarup Damodar Goswami was so pleased in his heart that he got the Charnamrit of Mahaprabhu, but outwardly, to show to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he expressed some anger. Hey, go away from here. Why are you disturbing Mahaprabhu? So Mahaprabhu said no. But Mahaprabhu entering Jagannath temple, everyone has to wash his feet. That's the system. Mahaprabhu is washing his feet, and Kalidas, he honored the Charnamrit of Mahaprabhu not one time, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Mahaprabhu said, enough. Enough. Mahaprabhu allowed him to take his Charnamrit because Mahaprabhu is Antaryami. He knows that him has honored the remnant of my associate with so much respect and honor. So Krishna got pleased to honor the Vaishnava, the remnants of Vaishnava. Nariji said, with their due permission, I honored the remnant. And when I honored the remnant, I felt something different. Just like bhakti appeared in my heart. Because that's the only way to get bhakti, or we can say the shortcut to bhakti. We are living in the world of shortcuts. Everything is shortcut. It's so difficult to even say the complete word brother. Hey bro. Sis, bro, everything is short. I know. Prabhu, your singing was pro. Yeah? Professional, pro. So pro, bro, sis, this is the world. Maybe after 10 years it's going to be, oh, hey B. Not even bro. It's difficult to say. So world of shortcut. Therefore, Bhakta Pada Duli, Bhakta Pada Jal, Bhakta Bhukt Avashesh. Shortcut to bhakti. Narji said, bhakti appeared in my heart. And then I was continuously every day hearing Hari Katha from those sadhus. And I received almost Prema Bhakti just by hearing, because I honored the remnants of Vaishnava, which is not only in the form of Prasadam, but also in the form of Hari Katha. That's also remnant of a Vaishnava. Srimad Bhagavatam is remnant of Shri Shuku Uvacha, the parrot who touched that fruit, the mango. Shuk Mukhad Amrita Dharma Samritam. So actually if we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, or we are speaking Bhagavatam, we are reading Bhagavatam, we are honoring the remnant of Shri Shukdev Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj honored that remnant. Many others were honoring that remnants, but their qualifications were not same. Dhundukari honored that remnant from Shri Gokarna. And that's why he went to Vaikuntha. Everyone else was only hearing, but they were not adopting. That means they are not honoring that remnant. They were eating that remnant but not honoring that remnant. Or maybe reluctant to even eating that. There's so many yogis and jnanis were sitting in the assembly of the sages with Parikshit Maharaj. So everyone's perception is different. It's not same. Parikshit Maharaj is actually in a mood of honoring with clear understanding. I'm honoring this. I'm taking this. I'm receiving this. A mercy from my Guru. With that mood. In that mood. Everyone was not same. So the description of Naraji, he is describing with his own lotus lips his previous story, previous life story. Not anyone else's story. He said, I'm not going to give you any other reference, my own life story. So 4 months, I took the remnants and also from with my ears. Bhavanti hit karna rasayan katha. Hit and karna. Ears and heart. Most important. And Shukdev Goswami, he gave remedies for these 2 diseases. There's a disease of ear and the disease of heart. Disease of ear is always want to hear topics and subjects which is not related to Krishna. And social media is a great blessing and boon and contribution to make us away from Krishna because it's very entertaining, right? Very entertaining. But also social media is there if you want to get immersed in Hari Katha because there's bombardment of Hari Katha. This Maharaj speaking, that Maharaj speaking, and just type Srila Prabhupada and you see series of lectures. Just type Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj. She type Srila Gurudev name. So much Hari Katha. So much Hari Katha. क्या बोल रहा था? Yeah, disease of ears. Always wants to hear topics which is not related to Krishna. And disease of the heart, of course. That's the lust. Shukdev Goswami gave treatment, remedy for both the diseases. The disease of the ear is a childhood pastime of Krishna. Yena yen avatarena bhagwan haririshvara karotu karna ramyani. The Balya Leela, the childhood pastimes of Krishna is the remedy for disease of the ears. And disease of the heart, vikvritam rajvadam idam cha vishnu shradhanno to anushunyat atham varneva bhakti param bhavati pratilabhya kama hide rog. The disease of the heart means Shukdev Goswami giving blessings actually. You know, sadhu can't resist without giving any blessings. You serve sadhu, he always ready to give blessings. How to serve sadhu? By cooking for him, washing his clothes. Of course, these are services. The best service is to hear attentively, to lend your ears to sadhu. That's the best service to sadhu. You feel glad, please. I want to fill those ears which are blank and which has some impurities. I want to fill those ears with Hari Katha. Best service to a sadhu. And that's why Bhagavatam described Vasudev Katha Prashna Purusham Tin Punatihi Vaktram Prachakam Stotram Tadpadam Salilam Yatha. Just like holy river Ganges purified the 3 lokas, the upper planetary system, this planet and the lower planetary system. Similarly, the Katha, the topics of Krishna purifies 3 personalities. One who asks question, Vaktram, Then secondly, those who are answering those questions. And third, one who hears question and answer. Vaktram prachikam stotram. But sequence is, who is more superior? Vaktram prachikam stotram. First of all, it purifies those who are speaking. Secondly, to those who are asking question, raising question. And third is the audience. Tadpadam salilam yatha. Srimad Bhagavatam. Purifies. So sadhu can't resist. Sadhu always wants to give blessings. Who can be more superior sadhu than Shukdev Goswami? Because no one is telling him that you have to speak 1.5 hours. He is speaking 24/7, non-stop. No one is asking Shukdev Goswami, there will be feast after the lecture. There is going to be feast, or can we go to sleep? No one is asking him. And even he don't want. My case is different. After 2 hours maybe I want to rest. Yeah? This is called adhikar. To remain in one's adhikar. Don't overlap your adhikar. We can't imitate Shukdev Goswami. We can't imitate Parikshit Maharaj. We can't fast 7 days and 7 nights. That's not our adhikar. If a advanced age lady, say 75 years old, start behaving like a child, 7-year young child, jumping, running, looks good? No. And if for a 7-year young child, girl, chastising anyone like a mother, grandmother, it's not adhikar. Doesn't look nice. So everyone has to be in their adhikar, not anadhikar cheshta. So Shukdev Goswami, being a sadhu, giving blessings. Anyone who hears the beautiful pastimes, the glorious pastimes of Radha Krishna, I bless. What happens? Shradhanu tu anushunyat, with utmost faith and attention. Hearing this pastime, what is going to happen? Hide rog ashnoti acharena dhiraha. He becomes very sober and gentle, and his hide rog, means his disease of the heart, will get destroyed. The lust is going to go away. How the lust is going to go away? You can't survive without lust, anger, greed, envious. Can't survive. Prayasascha. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, and Srila Prabhupada also saying, Yatha yogya bhog nahi tava rog. Whatever is essential for you to maintain your body, mind, up till that point is fine. But anything beyond that is atyahar. Anything beyond that is prayas, over-endeavoring. Eyes want to see. Nose want to smell. Lips wants to taste. Ear wants to hear. Can't survive without that. That's essential. But only just to maintain the body as much yatha yogya bhog nahi tava rog. Up till that level is correct and fine. Anything beyond that, leaving Krishna aside, is called atyahar and prayas. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying this. I am not saying this. Over-endeavoring. That's over-endeavoring. So, lust, anger, greed, envious. That's the composition. I mean, that's inherent by default. How to change the nature of that lust? It get transformed. It will remain, but get transformed. How to transform? Narottam Thakur is saying, Kam Krishna Karmar Pane Krodh Bhakta Dvesha Jane लोभ साधु संगे हरि कथा मद इष्ट लभ्य जने नियुक्त करिबे यथा तथा. Kam means desires. Kam Krishna karmarpane. Offer your desires unto Krishna. How to offer that? I want to eat pizza. No problem. That's your desire. You're longing for that. Waiting for Chaturmasya to end. You can have pizza. Make nice sleep with purity. Put tulasi and offer to Krishna and eat pizza. Prasad. Kam Krishna karmarpane. I want to have a beautiful house. Yes, go ahead. This is your desire. But how you going to use that house as Grihamedi or as a Grasta, that's your independence. You want to make a big, beautiful house to enjoy with your family, this Grihamedi. But if you want to make a house, beautiful house, to host programs like this, then this is idle Grasta life. Where husband, wife, I see in this house, and many others in the world, wherever I travel. When I'm here, I always see. Even if there is anyone, any visitor or no visitors, it's not that Shravan Prabhu, Lalita Didi, and oh, because Maharaj is here, we have to get up and we have to do Mangal Aarti. Because that's the standard. It's not like this. And even when I'm at New Shiva Sangam with God Sundar Prabhu there, anyone is there or not, Mangal Aarti, with Mridanga, with procedure, doing Tulsi Parikrama, sitting and chanting Ashtakams. Why we build the new house? The temple of Krishna, he is the center of the house. This is how we engage our desires in align with bhakti. Krodh bhakta dvesha jane. I'm not elaborating on this, very elaborate subject. Like Hanuman, he burned the entire country. My goodness. People are suffering in here in Moi, right? Many got burned there. I mean, so sad. Don't want to touch that point. It's very emotional. Hanuman burned the entire country. And no offense came to him. You burned entire country. You burned someone's house is offensive. Hanuman burned the entire country. No offense. Krodh bhakt dvesha jane. Showing your anger for those who are against Krishna and his devotees. Then your anger is not offensive. Because the center of that anger is the Lord. It has to be seen if it is self-centered or is a Krishna-centered. Atmindi priti vancha tate bole kam. Krishnindi priti vancha dhare premna. If it is self-centered, this is I'm the center. I'm the enjoying being the center. But if Krishna is the center, then this is prem. So Shukdev Goswami giving blessings. Sadhu cannot live without giving blessings. Especially if someone gives ears to sadhus. Shukdev Goswami, end of many chapters, is giving blessings. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur, at Chaitanya Bhagavat, giving blessings. Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, giving blessings. Shri Rup Goswami, because they are Brahmins, right? Brahmins have this inherent nature of always giving blessings. Shri Rup Goswami Pad, Anarpitam charim chirat karunyavatin kalo samarpedam unnato jarasam svabhakti shriyam hari pura sundar duti kadam va sandipita sada hriday kandreshu surutave sachinanda. What is the meaning? Shavanpu? Your English is good. Mine English is... No, just the essence of it.
He's giving blessings that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be born in everyone's hearts.
Sprutave Sachinandana. Blessings. May Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dwells in everyone's heart. Can't resist. Can't stay without giving blessings. That's the blessings. And why Sachinandana? Why Sachinandana? Because mothers have more affection for the child. We are praying to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with that mood of, like a mother never take offense of the child. Even a child pass urine stool in the lap of mother. Mother never take offense. She feel glad that I am serving, I am nourishing my child. So Sri Rupa Goswami teaching us how to pray to Mahaprabhu. Provoking Mahaprabhu with that motherly kind of affection, because I am unqualified to serve and worship the divine personality who is Radha Krishna combined form. So Sfuratave Sachinandana. You are Nanda, you are son of Sachi Mata. And Sachi Mata was so much, Sachi Mata is so much affectionate to you. Similarly, we expecting same expectation. Don't take my offense. That's the mood. Sfuratave Sachinandana. So Bhavanti Hit Karna Rasayana Katha. The topics of Krishna, which is tonic and remedy for the disease of the ears and the heart. And I say this many times. 2 ears, the shape of 2 ears is like heart. Yes, like this. You see, 2 ears are, if you combine 2 ears, it's like heart. So it's the connection of ear and heart. And in the word heart, ears is also there. H-E-A-R. So E-A-R is also present. Hit Karna Rasayan Katha. The connection of ear and heart. Satang Prasangam Mamvidja Samvido. Sri Naraji said, this is how I got so much blessings. By hearing Hari Katha. And when the sadhus were leaving, I begged them, you gave so much already in the form of Hari Katha, but don't leave me like this. Give me mantra. Give me diksha. Give me mantra, give me diksha means what? Divya Gyan Yado Dadat. Impart that transcendental knowledge. I want to receive this from you. But Naraji, you already heard 4 months Hari Katha. Why Diksha is so important? There is no time, but I want to elaborate on this. But I am not finished with this pastime. There's so much more. You already heard Hari Katha, 4 months, you took remnants and you claiming you got bhakti, you got prema in your heart. Then what is essential about receiving mantras from the sadhus? Why you want mantras? Why you want diksha? Because that's very important. Those who say diksha is not important, I don't believe that. Because I have evidence from the life history of Sri Narottam Thakur. Narottam Thakur, being young boy, already received prema in his childhood. You know this story, Narottam Thakur? No story, Narottam Thakur? Prior to Narottam Thakur took birth, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Bangladesh in those days, part of India. The river Padma felt so much ecstasies. And Mahaprabhu told Padma, I'm going to assign prema to you to give to a boy who is going to come in future. His name is going to be Narottam. Padma said, there are so many people by the name Narottam comes, take bath in me. How would I come to know which Narottam you are referring to? Mahaprabhu said, you come to know. Because when this boy is going to jump in your water, you feel ecstasies. So imagine, Mahaprabhu already predicted of his associate, Narottam, who is going to come in future. Narottam Thakur, not going to details, but he came and take bath in river Padma. He was not allowed to go, but he escaped and he jumped into water and Padma felt ecstasies. And that prema which got assigned by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got infused in him. Narottam Thakur got prema right in his childhood, when he was just playing age. What was the need for initiation then? You already received prema. He came to Vrindavan. What is the need of hearing Bhagavatam and hearing scriptures from Jiva Goswami? What is the point? What is the essential about this? Because purpose of everything is to get at prema. You already received that. You may be now carefree, but not carefree. I want. He learned all Shastras from Jiva Goswami, Shiksha Guru, accepting him as Shiksha Guru. And on the advice of Sri Jiva Goswami, he went to his Diksha Guru, Sri Loknath Goswami, and literally begging him, please give me mantra, please give me Diksha. What is the need? Ask Narottam Thakur, what is the need? You received prema in your childhood. You received all learnings. You became a great scholar. Why initiation now? Very important. He's showing with his own example. Similarly, with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Together, same. And he received initiation from Sri Loknath Goswami Pad. It's so important. Sri Naraji also telling this, proving this. After hearing so much, when they were leaving, I begged them, sadhus, you're going, at least give me Diksha, give me mantra. And considering me an innocent and inquisitive, the sadhus gave me mantras. I received that mantra. Shall I stop? It's too late. I'll be continuing this tomorrow. It's not finished yet, because there's something more now coming up. And I don't want to rush on this. Yeah, is this okay? Or you want me to go jump to 10th canto? I mean, I'm not Hanuman, I can jump the ocean. So, but I'm covering many cantos, a portion of many cantos together in this beautiful pastimes from the first canto Bhagavatam. This is all about lotus feet of Krishna. The whole potency is at lotus feet. Everyone wants lotus feet. Prabhu, Charan Kamal, Charan Kamal, Charan Kamal, dust of lotus feet, dust. So everything is present in lotus feet. So much is present in first canto, second canto. So much. Not only Siddhanta, but also Ras Vichar. But if we go through the commentaries of Sridhar Swami Pad, Vishnu Chakra Thakur, and if we elaborate from Sri Rup Goswami, Jiva Goswami, everything is present in first canto Bhagavatam. Very important. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran ki jai. Shri Shukdev Goswami ki, Shri Parikshit Maharaj ki, Shri Narad ji ki. Itai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Thank you so much for tolerating. Hare Krishna. But I took only 1.5 hours. I got mic by 6:05.